There's been a lot of back and forth between the Summer House and Southern Charm cast
You don't
over
say.
Craig and Paige's breakup. You know, you declared yourself Team Paige.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on both shows kind of going to bat for their respective co-stars?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like leading up to like a championship game or something where both teams in the locker room are saying stuff, and of course everybody's going to protect their quarterback or their head coach. And Paige is like our quarterback or head coach, and of course we're going to have her back, always. And I think, yes, the shows have a lot of crossover. We've had many inter cast connections. I think it'll all work itself through. We have a lot more to go on Southern Charm and Summer House. But I know enough to know where I think Paige, I'm proud of her for doing what I think was best for her and for him, which is to move on and go focus on what they want to do. It's not an easy situation doing this publicly. So I have a lot of grace for both Craig and her. I've seen Paige a couple times since the breakup, and she seems to be doing well, and she deserves to be supported. And I think it's really hard, especially when, I don't know, people don't really know. No one really knows what went on between the two of them other than the two of them. And that's all that matters.
Right.
So I'm Team Paige always, but I feel bad for both of them. It sucks.
Yeah, it's tough. And with everybody weighing in, it doesn't make it any, the world
No.
weighing in,
I think
at
at first it was like Paige's podcast. Like I thought she handled that with a lot of dignity and a lot of class. And unfortunately, things kind of, you don't know how it's all going to shape up, but I was surprised because to me, their summer seemed fairly okay. I feel like Craig had been making a lot of changes and improvements to his life, but I feel like Paige really helped Craig a lot and did a lot to really help him become a better version of himself. And I think Craig maybe forgets that sometimes. But yeah, they both did a lot for each other too. So
yes,
we'll
definitely.
see who's. I don't know who Paige is dating now, but
I don't know. There've been a lot of rumors.
I know. Well, it's like the Summer House boys are now like, oh, is Paige single again?
Really?
I'm just happy to be friends with her, and we're in a good place. We've had some ups and downs for sure, but I really appreciate our friendship. She's been really, like, people may not see this on our show, but she is a really kind and genuine person to her friends and family, people she cares about, and she's been really nice and kind to me. I mean, after my brother, after the breakup, variety of things. She's been, and also to her, Lindsay as well. She's been incredibly kind and supportive, which I think shows a lot about who Paige is and her character.
Yeah, for sure. And I know, like, kind of touching on the Paige, Craig, Kyle stuff, in a preview for this week's episode, we see a screenshot of that text, and I think some Bravo sleuths kind of deciphered what it said, and they said it said something maybe about Hannah. What can you say about that whole thing?
What is that?
Kyle yelling at me about Craig.
From my understanding, Kyle was upset because of inaccurate things being said publicly about him and what had transpired. And that started with Hannah and Paige on some sort of interview on a podcast. What was said on that was not accurate, and Kyle was very upset because a lot of it is Kyle gets kind of brought into the fold and it's not a true statement or something not fully told. Kyle is being kind of blamed for something that's not his fault. I can relate to that feeling. I don't agree with rage texting Paige like that, and he didn't give her a chance to say anything. He's just going off, which he should have texted that to me first and then cooled off and then delivered what he really wanted to say. But Kyle feels hurt, and I can understand why he feels hurt. But I also feel like there's better ways to handle some of this. I'd hate to see this cause issues for the business or for their relationship. I almost thought we'd all moved on. I saw Hannah not that long ago, and we hugged, and it was cool. Like, she's killing it. Her and Paige are killing it. Like, I want the best for them, but it just sucks. Like, we're being reintroduced to something that was like 2020, 2021.
Many years ago.
And it just feels, I think Kyle was really bummed out and hurt, but as a result, hurt people or go after people.
Right.
I know Kyle feels really bad about it all.
Yeah.
And he did even in the summer, because it does, what the episode leads to does play again later on, where the text, it becomes a big dinner fight.
Oh, interesting.
A massive dinner fight.